So good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Sorry for about the just gonna talk for a few minutes, so bear with me. Um, Sorry for the inconsistent streams. Things have been real hectic, RL. For those of you that might be new to the channel or don't know me, I am a law enforcement officer in real life. I normally work day shifts, but there's been some schedule change ups. I'm now doing a swing shift a week. Plus, we're a small agency, so I get called out sometimes to go help the on duty deputy if they need backup, stuff like that. Plus, all other my personal stuff, it kind of gets hard to stream sometime. And so I've been kind of lacking, but I've kind of resolved that I'm going to start streaming one night a week, and it's going to be every Saturday. So, welcome to the first Saturday stream. Um, we're going a little old school today. We are going back to a game that I haven't streamed yet, but is one of my all-time favorite games, which is City of Heroes. And for those of you who may not be familiar with City of Heroes, um, City of Heroes started out in 2004. It was made by a company called uh, Cryptic Studios. It was an online MMO, and at the time it had one of the most robust character creators you've ever seen in your life, and held that, I think, for years. um and it has issues. All of its updates were called issues, and so it started out with issue 1 in 2004, and I joined it about issue 7, which was in 2006, and I played it until right after issue 23 in 2012, when the publishing company NCSoft shut the game down. They had bought out um, Cryptic years ago and were running it solely, and they decided to shut it down. So, um, cue to later, all the source code and files and stuff needed to run COH got leaked out, and some private servers started popping up and running stuff without the permission of NCSoft. And one of those servers that started was the server I'm on, called Homecoming. And after some negotiations with NCSoft, they were granted permission to officially run City of Heroes as a private server. So I've been here ever since. They've got multiple like mini servers, if you want to call them. One's a role playing server, one's, all kinds of different stuff. Anyway, let me go ahead and turn off my starting screen. So it's been a while since I've played it because I've been concentrating on my GTA RP. And so this young gentleman you're seeing before you is Hypervolt. His powers are all electrical, as you may guess. And his story is the super group he belongs to was actually created by a good friend of mine, the premise of it. And what it was is that the super group he belongs to is called the Action League. And the Action League, the history is that it was a comic, World War II era comic book series about powered superheroes fighting in World War II. And Hypervolt was one of the characters in the Action League. And so one day, one by one, all the characters start waking up in Paragon City, which is the city City of Heroes is based in, and realize that all their adventures that they thought they'd had in World War II were actually a comic book, but they were now alive. So now they've got to redefine themselves and figure out, okay, I was a comic book, now I'm not anymore. How do I live in modern day Paragon City when everything I knew was in World War II? So anyway, so yeah, he is, I've almost got him maxed out on levels. He's level 45. I am going to see how close I can get him to 50 tonight. We probably won't get all the way there, but I'm gonna. This is not like um, on my GTA roleplay. It's not like voice based or anything. So it's all any communication is done through text, unless you happen to be playing with friends and you're in a Discord call or something. So you'll notice over here on the left, I've got my chat boxes. I'm just looking for a group that I can get in. Let's see if this dude has a spot left. So the room you're seeing me in right now is inside a super group base. This is their teleport room that has teleporters that go to all the different city zones, and there's a lot of them. All these images you're seeing are like the teleport beacons. They must be attached to a teleporter to be able to go to those zones. In fact, I think I need to. This is one of my supergroup bases. I think I need to update and add some more. So we're not getting a response back there. So I'm assuming that task force is filled. And there are different kinds of missions in City of Heroes. You've got regular missions you can get from a contact, where you can form teams and go do the missions, or you can do task forces, which are a big conglomeration of missions with bigger rewards, and you usually have to fight a big bad at the end to finish it, which in City of Heroes and City of Villains and all that is usually called an AV or an archvillain. And I'm keeping an eye out for teams. Most of them are pretty low level right now. And I'm not getting a response back on that one task force. So while I'm keeping an eye out, you notice all the lightning around him and stuff. Those are some of his defensive powers. They're like shielding and stuff. And his primary power is lightning blast. So there's, if you look over here in the lower right corner, you'll see like row 1 is his offensive powers, and row 2 are his defensive powers, and then up here on the third I've got some miscellaneous stuff like super speed, and there's some invisibility type stuff, and move that over. That was something to give me some extra experience points. Looks like they've still got DJs going strong here. One of the big things when City Heroes was live is they've got a club that's called Pocket D, which stands for Pocket Dimension, and it was out in this big floating building in this side dimension. That was a nightclub, and we had quite a few online radio stations that started up and played during City Heroes running, and Pocket D is usually where they held their shows. I used to do quite a bit of DJing during City Heroes and even after for a couple of years for a couple of other radio stations, and then I did some for some online radio stations not attached to gaming before I finally stepped down from doing that. So not seeing all, let me make sure I got all the channels in there I should have. Okay. Not a whole lot going on right now as far as groups. What we'll do is we'll go to one of the higher level zones and maybe see something in broadcast chat about teams. Oh, there he finally answered me back. Okay, got broadcast there. Everyone's running from something in there. All right, well, we'll have a little bit of a fight while we're... some kind of zone event happening. There's a nice hero coming over to assist. Probably a good thing he came over, because I most likely wouldn't have survived this with all three of them. Be nice and thank you. Okay, I need to look at my enhancements and see how out of date they are. Oh, they're not really. Okay, so you can enhance your powers with different types of enhancements, and these are those. Nothing's, I mean, they're only level 25, so I could update them, but that would take a while and not anything you guys probably would want to see. Up in the upper right corner, you've got those bars up there. The green bar is your health, the blue bar is your endurance, and different powers have different levels of drain to them, so you may have to build it back up. Or you can use these little items here, which are called inspirations, and will fill back up your bars depending on what level of inspiration it is. Still not seeing a whole lot of teams running. One thing, one kind of, if you want to consider it a bad thing about electricity powers, is a really a heavier drain on the endurance. So you really got to keep an eye on your endurance to make sure you don't run off, because it would automatically shut off all my defensive powers, and I'd have to wait for them to revamp to reactivate them again and get my endurance built back up before I could reactivate them again and all that. And I think I've got him as a sentinel. Yeah. Little ad there and looking for group. See if I get any hits. There's a mission group team, but looks like I'm one level short for that. And one thing that doesn't really matter is if the team's a lot higher than you or a lot lower than you, they have something that, say you're level 15 and you're on a level 50 mission team, it will sync you up to a level 50 level, so you have a better chance of survival. Or if you're like Hypervolt level 45 and you join a level 15 team, it's going to knock you down a little bit to the max level of the team leader. But you'd still earn experience either way. So I may have to end up going for a lower level team. And if we don't get something soon, we may just go ahead and switch to a different game. Because I know it's probably not going to be fun for you guys just sit around and not seeing anything going on and just listening to me droning on and on about, well, hopefully we get a team soon. Let's see how many. Okay, so not many people on in PI. May just try to do some solo missions. Let's see what I got for contacts here. Okay, that's just they changed out the heroes there. And so, let's see what the detective at the police department has to offer. Oops. Okay, so safeguard mission. I would definitely need a full team for that. Oh, here we go. All right, so we got a team to run with. Good old Arachnos. So far, so good. Hey Lizzie, how you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. Thank you very much for asking. Work today, of course. Ate something that didn't agree with me towards the end of my shift, but nothing a little bit of Pepto could take care of. Alright, there's the mission done. Hanson's here while we're waiting. We'll wait. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling better than I was. Luckily, I had some at home to take for it. here we go. And one thing in COH, you can get drops from defeating enemies like enhancement recipes or inspirations or even other items along with the XP you get for defeating them. It's City of Heroes, Lizzie. Yes, but its own separate hero universe. Separate of like DC or Marvel or any of the others. Used to navigating this anymore. Of course, by the time I get up here, everyone else is dead. Or defeated, as we used to say. Because what true hero is going to kill someone? Click the glowy. Dude, are you not going to grab it? What the heck? There we go. Okay. Only thing that really sucks with City Heroes is some of the power effects are so damn hard to see through. No, you're not gonna run off. What badge did I get? Eliminator. You've inflicted 500,000 points of damage upon your foes. I'll take that. Oh, there we go. I'm just running all over the place. All right, we're going to stop here. Okay, guys. I really planned on streaming longer than this, at least 2 or 3 hours. It's barely been an hour, but whatever I ate that didn't agree with me, the medicine is not helping, and it's definitely not agreeing with me right now. So, before I end up getting to the point that you hear me being sick on here, I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night. I'm sorry it was such a short stream. I will be back next Saturday, probably with some more GTA stuff. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys later.